Hi everyone, welcome back to Toxic Tuesdays. I hope you've all been having a wonderful week. I was very busy actually. On Saturday I celebrated a mate's wedding. They had an absolutely wonderful affair. It was very low key and just beautiful. And then on Sunday we had a family day outing at the zoo. My children absolutely loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed pointing out the brugmansias, and as you can see I'm a little bit burnt, little bit red. For those of you who are new here, my name is Bethany Vujan, and every week I do a video called Toxic Tuesday where I talk about a toxic plant that you may have in your backyard and we learn a little bit more about it. On today's episode we are looking at Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachia is more commonly known as dumb cane, but also goes by mother-in-law's tongue and is a genus of tropical flowering plants of the family Araceae. Dieffenbachia is a herbaceous perennial plant with a straight stem, simple, alternating leaves that are generally green with splashes or blotches of creamy white. Cultivars have expanded the colour palette to include yellow, which makes it a popular houseplant. Some species in the right settings can grow as high as 6 meters, but you can get some that grow as little as 30 centimeters. Dieffenbachia does flower, but rarely indoors. When it does flower, it has a spadix formation with a pale green spathe partially enclosing them. The spadix is off-white in color and is normally hidden. The male flowers are near the tip of the spadix with the female flowers at the base, and pollination of these flowers is through insects. If fruit develops, it is berry-like in appearance and ranges from a bright red to an orange-red color. Dieffenbachia is native to Mexico and the West Indies and down south to Argentina. As mentioned before, some species are widely cultivated as ornamental houseplants as they don't need much care to thrive. It tolerates low light but does best in bright, indirect light that has protection from the sun. If you do want this plant in your home, Dieffenbachia prefers moderately dry soil, so water about once a week, and average home temperatures between 17 and 27 degrees Celsius. Fun fact, Dieffenbachia was named by Heinrich Wilhelm Schott, who was the director of the Botanical Gardens in Vienna, to honour his head gardener, Joseph Dieffenbach. Dieffenbachia contains needle-sharp calcium oxalate crystals called raphids. Now I did touch on these in my Arum maculatum video, which if you haven't watched already, you should go and check out because that's quite informative as well. If a leaf is chewed, it can cause a tingling, burning sensation and erythema, which is a type of skin rash caused by injured or inflamed capillaries. In rare cases, fluid retention in the tissues that have been exposed to the plant have also been reported. Poisoning generally occurs by curious pets and young children, typically through chewing, and can cause a variety of unpleasant symptoms. These include intense numbing, oral irritation, excessive drooling, and localized swelling. These effects, though, are rarely life-threatening and in most cases can be successfully treated. Severe cases can occur if Dieffenbachia makes prolonged contact with the oral mucosal tissue, which is your mouth. In such cases, symptoms can generally include severe pain that can last for days or weeks. Hospitalization may be necessary if prolonged contact to the throat occurs, as increased swelling can impact breathing. Another fun fact, Dieffenbachia gets its common name of dumb cane due to the fact that it temporarily paralyzes your vocal cords. The history of Dieffenbachia is not for the faint of heart. It has had some very horrible uses over the years. A few videos ago we learnt about Datura or Jimson weed and how the Haitian bokers or sorcerers of voodoo actually use that plant in creating zombies in the zombification process. Dieffenbachia is another ingredient that is used in that process as it assists in the concoction, the zombification concoction, to go into a person's system directly. I'll pop the links in the description box down below if you're interested in reading, because I found it all quite fascinating actually. Dieffenbachia also has its roots in slavery. So the slave owners of the Caribbean sugar plantations would rub Dieffenbachia into the mouths of unruly slaves as a form of punishment. Now, I don't know how common this practice was, but it was obviously common enough that I was able to find several mentions of it, which is just a very horrible piece of history, but it is part of the history of this plant, and I thought it only fair to share that not all history is great, and this is part of it. Brazilian Indians also used Dieffenbachia as a way to sterilize their enemies. So it would be added to the food, or it would be used to coat arrows, so poison-tipped arrows. And as late as the 1950s, some Caribbean islands actually believed that chewing on Dieffenbachia would actually provide temporary sterility, and it was used as a male contraceptive. Now, this actually lets me segue into another horrible moment in history, the Nazis. In 1941, Herr Heinrich Himmler, who was the head of the SS in Nazi Germany at this time, was considering using Dieffenbachia as a way to sterilize war prisoners. According to trials of war, criminals before the Nuremberg military tribunals, certain members of the Third Reich in Germany attempted to mass sterilize undesirable races using Dieffenbachia juice in sterilization experiments on some concentration camp inmates. These experiments were limited due to the fact that there was a limited availability of Dieffenbachia sanguine specifically. Now, aside from these horrible forms of use, Dieffenbachia actually does have some medicinal uses as well. Dieffenbachia sanguine sap is used in tropical America as a counter-irritant for snake bites. It is used to treat rheumatism and gout externally, as well as tumours and warts. The oil from the seed is used for wounds, burns, and inflammation. And in Brazil, a leaf concoction is gargled to treat angina, which is a temporary chest pain or discomfort when your heart is not getting enough blood and oxygen. Now, while this plant is known more for its toxic qualities, some of those do come in handy, as it has been used as a rat poison and also as a poison to kill cockroaches. That is everything today, guys, on Dieffenbachia. Let me know in the comments down below if you learnt something new or if I've left something out. And while you're there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you all, as always, for spending some of your day with me. It is always appreciated, and I will see you all on the next episode of Toxic Tuesday. Stay safe, guys. Have a lovely week, and keep on learning. Bye.